Video Tuesday, 8th of January 2013. It's just 3:05 p.m. Chicago time. Just going to get this video out before the close of the trade, hopefully. Anyway, so today's activity, we're sitting at about 1452 at the moment. 1.1 million contracts traded, kind of decent volume. Yesterday we had high volume churn bar here, and that means that's relatively small range, relatively high volume. Shows kind of professional activity, usually kind of taking profits on highs. The coloring on better volume is green here. It happens to be blue on the paint bars, which is a bit of confusing because that's not better pro-am. But anyway, yesterday was tricky trading for me. Ended up losing 1.25 points after 5 trades. There wasn't a decent trend move. The range was kind of so compressed, so the best I could do is make back up some of the losses that I had kind of on trades that were going nowhere. Today was a little better though, 3.5 points after 2 trades, so quite happy with that. In terms of better trend, so better trend today, the adjusted trend value is -74. So remember, on the adjusted trend values, kind of negative values are selling. So we've got kind of net selling happening. Although we're kind of closing towards the open or kind of off the lows, it is kind of net selling today, and it means the trend oscillator's kind of flipped over. So at the close, that means all of these, this cluster of buy signals will take profits, which will be quite nice. Those will be quite good. And it means we kind of flip into temporarily a little bit of a downtrend on the daily chart. I don't know if we do have a little bit of a sell-off. I don't know how prolonged or strong it's going to be, just because what I see on the daily charts on the bonds is that they're very weak and they're breaking through support levels on the daily charts and into downtrends on bonds. So if the money's kind of flowing out of bonds, it tends to flow into equities, so there'll be some relative strength into equities, but let's see how strong that actually is. In terms of trades today, initially was getting long just because on the 1500 tip bar chart, these blue professional bars, we broke the highs of that. You can see we had a support level kind of come in here, blue professional down bar, we break it by a 1/4 point or something, and then the highs get taken out pretty swiftly. I thought, well, market wants to rally initially, fair enough, kind of jump on board, but it got nowhere. Came into resistance here, another blue professional bar kind of stepped in, and then we had this very strong down bar here. So exited that long trade, got short at 53.25, and just rode this kind of down till we had the 4-point target was 49.25, which happened almost on the button of a pro signal exit here, where we get exhaustion selling. Blue professional bar kind of comes in at the lows there. Rambo pattern. We spend a little bit of time rallying back from that, and then we kind of make our pullback to end of trend. It's kind of a classic pullback to end of trend signal today. Exhaustion selling on the left shoulder, pullback to end of trend. We have bullish divergence. When the bullish divergence or bearish divergence is right on the 0 line, look for a flush pattern after that, and the flushes are quite a lot of selling, but not as much as exhaustion. You can see the flush pattern kind of comes in on end of trend. Spend a little bit of time amateur down bars here, and then we break it initially. Another blue professional bars kind of steps in. That's the low. You can see very little selling going on, and bang, we start to rally from there. We've had quite a strong rally today. We're kind of closing on the the highs of that rally at least. Longer term, when you go to the 1500, 4500 tip bar chart, we've had Friday's activity was exhaustion, blue professional bars kind of coming in. We sold off from there. We had this selling yesterday. We had blue professional bars the highs. We've sold down there, and towards the close today, we've got all these blue professional bars kind of coming in. I know that's normal for a close anyway, because professionals are active at the open and at the close. And so we won't really know what they're doing there, rather than just closing out positions rather than taking directional positions. So breaking below this kind of 50.48 level to the downside would mean continuation of that downtrend. So let's see on the longer term charts, 40,500, we've got a support in. We've had our exhaustion buy and bearish divergence, so that's that level, today's low basically, to look out for. And on the 13,500, same kind of thing. We've had our pullback to end of trend, exhaustion, bearish divergence, and flush pattern. All of those have come in, and then we've had all these blue professional bars at the highs here. So look for that to kind of be taken out, and then the lows of the next today's lows to be taken out for continuation of this downtrend, if that's what the market wants to do. Anyway, so hope you traded well today. I'll tag on that day trade today. I quit after that just because yesterday was a long day trading, and you kind of get not exhausted, but kind of you just want to take profits early and be done, and have some in the bag and kind of stop. So that's what I did today. Anyway, hope you traded well. 53.25, short 53.25. Just checking my stops and targets. And the reason for getting short, we just had this blue professional bar coming on 1500 underneath resistance. The market kind of sold off really hard. Came into a Rambo pattern initially, but no blue professional bars, kind of picking up the lows here. So we've just, here we go, we were just breaking the support level on 500. So we got a little bit of strength after the Rambo pattern, then came back to the lows of that bar, and now we're going through support here on 500. So into a downtrend on the 500 tip bar chart. We've got this cyclical resistance to on 4500. Overnight, I mean, yesterday we kind of bottomed out and then we went for a rally, and we did end up with exhaustion, pull back to dirty end of trend. This was the second cyclical turn after that, and that was, you know, first place. The professionals kind of came in after the open. Here we go, breaking down. So into a downtrend, we'll be coming close to those kind of lows pre-open. Let's see where this goes. Alright, coming back down to lows, we just bounced off this Rambo pattern, so we had a little bit of temporary strength, but support becomes resistance, kind of coming back down again. We've also got supporting on 1500, so a break of this would be a trend move on this time frame. We've got no blue professional bars coming at the lows, so that's the last significant one on 1500. We broke the lows of that one, so let's continue holding. This is the first blue professional bar we've seen on 1500 since this breakdown. We're still in the downtrend on 500, so it's got to get resolved. We'll pull back to end of trend. We've got this swing down support, resistance to support on 4500. So previous low overnight was 50.75, which is actually exactly this point here. So we haven't had exhaustion selling, not even on the 500 tip bar chart, and at least we had some on the upside here. So continue to hold. Target sitting at 49.25. So on a run of stops down at 50.75, that's a good place to have a target. Here we go. So breaking. Of a bounce just off 51, so it was almost like a technical bounce off that previous low. It's a Rambo pattern on 1500 after a blue professional bar kind of comes in. Rambo patterns really significant on the 1500 tip bar chart yesterday. We were bouncing off a couple of them here, really important. So, good, coming back down. Excellent, so this should be pullback to end of trend on the 500 tip bar chart. And having another go through that low. Once we get through, we'll run stops underneath it. So this energy will kind of come in. Here we go, we're testing that low again, bang, we're through it. Running some stops, 49.25 is my target. We've got pullback to end of trend. Here we go, we're just a point away now. Another bloody Rambo pattern on 1500. Anyway, not seeing exhaustion selling kind of down here. Blue professional bar kind of comes in, that'll be end of trend here. Let's keep holding, just hoping for a little bit more. But we just bounced off that end of trend. With blue professional bar come back into resistance at 52, coming back down again. Hadn't seen exhaustion selling on the downside, at least on the 500 tip bar chart. You want to see something to mirror this exhaustion buying on the 500. So still hoping for a break below this previous low, 50. Just looking for 49.25. Not going to move my target or anything. Just it's kind of slow. Just worried about kind of small ranges, so, and these Rambo patterns on 1500. So coming down again to 50 and a quarter. Hopefully we'll get another little bit of follow through, minus 5,000 here. That's looking more like it. Blue professional bars coming again at the lows. Just give it a minute. Just out 49 and a quarter. All of a sudden it just collapsed through that 50 level. Ran a whole bunch of stops, and we come into exhaustion pattern on 500. Blue professional bars kind of come in here. Excellent. And 11,000 on better momentum on 1500. Alright, so that was for 4. Had a previous trade loss of half, so up 3.5 after 2 trades, and it is 9:14 AM. I'm going to quit there. Minus 14. No blue professional bars on 1500, which is kind of unusual because we had a bunch here. Good. All right. Just a minute later, and pro signal did go off. That reading was pretty extreme, about minus 14,000, and the blue professional bars ended up kind of coming in there. So pro signal exit's kind of gone off. We're just sitting around kind of another rainbow pattern, couple down here on the 500 tip bar chart, so we could easily just see a little bit of a strength from there. But glad to be out, and the rainbow the pro signal exit pattern kind of went off around the same time, so I'm happy to be out at that point.